5, 4, 3, 2.
It's good, y'all. Welcome back to Niner Wire. I'm your host, Sam, and today we are doing more Mock Draft Monday. It's been a minute since I've done this. I've been busy with a lot of stuff, so forgive me for that. But guys, we are back. It's draft month. The grind does not stop, man. I got to keep this stuff up. And today we're doing more 7-round mock simulations. I haven't done this in a while. I think this is my first Mock Draft Monday, somewhere around there. Haven't done it since. So for episode 5 of Mock Draft Monday on a Tuesday, by the way, I couldn't get out yesterday. If you saw on Twitter, you know why I couldn't get it out. But yeah, man, I'm really looking forward to this. This is something I haven't done in a while. Really looking to get back on this. Again, guys, if I pull it up right here, we are using PFN. I like PFN the best, even though the rankings can be kind of whack sometimes. They do a reasonable job at who goes where, what the trades are. They do a pretty reasonable job at that, and we can make trades in this. That's another reason why I like that. So, yeah, PFN we're doing today. Really looking forward to this and really looking forward to seeing what you guys think about this. I'll give my thoughts on every pick. It's basically going to be the same as the first episode. So, really looking forward to it. But guys, before we get into it, make sure to follow me on Twitter at NinerWireSam. My Instagram is at NinerWire_IT. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure to subscribe to NinerWire. Sorry, if you're watching on Twitter, make sure to subscribe to NinerWire YouTube. Excuse me about that. I post a lot of stuff on all 3 platforms, so make sure to check that out. Also, got to check out the Talking Niners pod with me and Kobe, guy who's been on my channel recently. Follow us on Twitter at Talking Niners pod. We were ranked 127th in Canada for sports podcasting or for football podcasts. So let's get higher than that, man. 127 in Canada, that's a good start. Let's get to number 1 in America or something like that. I don't really know. We'll figure it out. And as always, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, anything like that, make sure to leave them in the live chat below. Without further ado, let's get right into it. So as you guys can see right there, I have all the things set up. We're doing, I don't have it set up. Excuse me. We need to do 7 rounds. Normal simulation, 49ers. Let's get right into the first draft. Obviously, we're picking at 3, so we should get Lawrence going 1. 2 can be a curveball, but they do go Zach Wilson. We do have some offers. I don't even need to look through those. We're just going to reject those, reject, and reject, because with the 3rd pick, the San Francisco 49ers select Justin Fields, quarterback, Ohio State. Now, to give my quick thoughts on this, I'm going to let it simulate while I talk. Ooh, nice trade for Washington to get Trey Lance. But anyways, I'm going with Justin Fields here, mainly because he is the best quarterback on the board, in my opinion. It's that simple. You have Justin Fields, you got Trey Lance, who, by the way, yes, I've been saying Justin Fields has been worse than Trey Lance, but for the Niners, Justin Fields is the better fit. If you want a quarterback to start right now, you go with a guy like Justin Fields. So that's why I'm going Justin Fields there. It better not be Mac Jones. So, yeah, Gregory Rousseau at 32. That's interesting. Again, very interesting first round. Lots of trades there. I haven't been looking through those. I've been really just focusing on the stream, talking to you guys, trying to get you to interact. We do have 2 offers at 43, but there is a guy I do see on there that I think is way too hard to pass up on. I'm going to reject both offers because with the 43rd pick in the 2021 NFL draft, the San Francisco 49ers select Jaelan Phillips, the edge from Miami. Now, Jaelan Phillips, his one knock is injury concerns. And I know, yeah, we have a lot of injury concerns, so why should we take Jaelan Phillips? This dude is a beast when healthy. This dude, in my opinion, I haven't watched as much edge film as other people have, but right now, Jaelan Phillips is my edge 2. I love this guy so much. And by the way, the film I've watched on Jaelan Phillips, if I'm being completely honest, and maybe 2 is a bit high for him considering how much film I watch, the film I've watched for him has been offensive line film from the other team. I've been watching guys like Christian Darrisaw. I watched this guy. Oh, he's pretty good. Oh, crap. Who's this guy on the other side? That's Jaelan Phillips. That dude is a wrecking havoc. He was a top prospect coming out of high school, medically retired, and then came back to Miami, is an absolute beast. That guy should be going round 1. To get him in round 2, that is an absolute steal. You cannot pass up on that. And I know Elijah Moore would be a fantastic pick. Maybe we'll get him later, but round 2 for Jaelan Phillips is an absolute steal. That is something you cannot pass up on. So, yeah. All right. Round 3, we're back at 103, I believe. Yes, 102, excuse me. We have 1 offer from the Lions. I'm going to look. That's definitely a good offer. I'm going to look around, see what you got there. We do need, so there are some positions that we do need, cornerback being one of them. We do need some cornerback depth. Looking through this, Benjamin St. Juste is pretty good. If you haven't checked out Javier Vega's pod, make sure to check him out. He was on there. You also got Trill Williams out of Syracuse. That's another guy. You got Quincy. We don't need an edge that much. Linebacker Chaz Surratt is a really good player that I really like. Defensive tackle, decent. We don't really need a defensive tackle. And on the offensive side, look at wide receivers. I mean, there is Demetric Felton. We could go Felton here. We also, based on these rankings, you might be able to get him. I mean, I'm not trying to base it on the rankings, actually. But, yeah, all right. And then you go to all right here, and you look at that. I think I'm going to take the trade. I think there's no – I see a lot of guys on there that I think we can get at 112. So I'm going to take the trade. You move up from round 5 to round 4, move back 10 spots. I think that's a pretty good deal. The Detroit Lions are now on the clock. Back-to-back picks for the Lions. Davis Mills, and who else are they taking? Dwayne Eskridge, the Michigan kid, Western Michigan kid, goes to East Michigan and balls out there for the Lions, possibly. We'll have to see. But, guys, we're on the clock now. I did say Trill Williams was a guy. He just got taken. You have Trey Sermon on the board. He'll be a good fit. There's James Hudson. This is a guy I could possibly take him. If you want O-line help, this would be a perfect place to take James Hudson. And you know what? We're going to do that. With the 112th pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, the San Francisco 49ers select James Hudson, tackle Cincinnati. Right now, James Hudson, in my opinion, is by tackle 8 or tackle 9. I forget which one he is. But he is a baller. He's a very raw prospect. He played right tackle at Michigan, transferred to Cincinnati, played left tackle, so he can be a swing guy. If McGlinchey's not doing well, he's fine. We could also move him at guard. I know Daniel Brunskill signed his tender today. He should be back this year. But if we want to move on from him, if we want to move on for a guy like Mike McGlinchey, you can just slide James Hudson right in there, and I believe that he can be a baller in this league, especially behind two guys like that and an offensive line like that. He's going to have to sit out this first year probably because he's a very raw prospect. Might be able to start right away if there's an injury, but I really like this pick. Round 4, great value. And on top of that, we're on the clock at 117, and I believe that no cornerback went off the board. That's the other position that we really need to fill. Wide receiver as well, but I think cornerback depth, that's a bit bigger of a need. Maybe we go wide receiver here depending on what's available, but I do see a guy. If I check wide receivers too, where are we on the clock next? After 117, we're at 136. All right, this seems like a reasonable pick right here. With the 117th pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, the San Francisco 49ers select Demetric Felton, the wide receiver / running back from UCLA. You want versatility. Kyle Shanahan loves versatility. There you go. Demetric Felton. I've talked about him a lot. I really don't need to explain much about him. A very versatile guy. He played running back in college, is moving to wide receiver in the NFL probably. So a very versatile guy that I believe would be a perfect fit in Kyle Shanahan's system. Also, we need to figure out trading up if there's a guy. So I should probably get back on the all page every time. So I apologize for that. But we're on the clock again at 136. And looking at what we have, most of the cornerbacks that I talked about are still available. We're going to take one here. With the 136th pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, the San Francisco 49ers select Benjamin St-Juste, cornerback from Minnesota. Again, this is a guy who's a very decent player. I really like what I've seen on tape. Wow, Kyle Trask in round 4, maybe getting to round 5. Let's see who takes him. The Kansas City Chiefs take him. Wow, that's interesting. But yeah, guys, who I just take? I'm an idiot. I should know this. Benjamin St-Juste is a guy who I really like on tape. He's been on. If you watch Javier Vega and his podcast, I don't know if he goes by Javier, whatever he prefers. Go check that out. He had a really great interview with him, really great episode. So make sure to go check that out. But we are on the clock again. We can move back 5 spots. There is a guy I do see on the board. Speaking of Javier Vega, with the 155th pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, the San Francisco 49ers select Austin Watkins, the wide receiver from UAB. This is another wide receiver who I believe should be our wide receiver 3 probably if we take him. This dude's a baller. If you haven't watched his tape, go watch him. He balled out at the Senior Bowl. He's a really good player. I mean, the tape will tell it to you. This guy's a really good player. I need to do a bit more research on him, but from what I've seen, he was also on Javi's podcast, so make sure to check that out. Also, balled out the Senior Bowl, as I just said. So, yeah, I mean, I don't really have much to say about him. That's really all. All right, 179 was just traded. We're at 180. We don't have any offers on the board. And looking what we have taken so far, we have quarterback, edge. You got their offensive lineman. You got a wide receiver. You got a cornerback. You got another wide receiver. So only a few holes to fill with 180, 194, and 230. I do believe that maybe a running back would be a good idea here, maybe a tight end, a receiving tight end. And I see the guy perfect for this with the 180th pick in the 2021 NFL draft. The San Francisco 49ers select Trey McKitty, the tight end for Georgia. This dude is a baller. I'll just say right there, he's a very good receiver, very good player overall. I think if you need a receiving tight end, which I do believe the 49ers need, they should go after this guy. I mean, he's a beast. It's that simple. Watch the tape. It's fantastic to watch guys like Trey McKitty just ball out. And guys, last year there was a Georgia tight end I really liked, Charlie Warner. We got him. I wonder if that's going to happen this year as well. All right, pick 194. Also could use a safety too. I haven't looked at safety too much. Kerry Vincent's still on the board, which is interesting. I might go him here at 194. I wonder, you know who could be available? Where are you? Israel Mukuamu is taken, it looks like. Why is he not here? Israel, here, let me look. Mukuamu. Oh, now he's listed as a safety. You know what? Screw it. The disrespect to Israel Mukuamu is very real here. We're going to get him every time if we really want to take him. I know I'm going to try to avoid this, but 194, you can't pass that up. Israel Mukuamu, well, he's going to be at 194 every time, but still. All right, Israel Mukuamu, welcome to the Niners. I've talked about this guy enough. Very physical player. One of my favorite cornerbacks in this draft. Been on some of my thumbnails for videos. I believe if he hasn't, then he's going to be on a thumbnail soon because I love this guy. So Israel Mukuamu, the cornerback / safety. You get that versatility too. If they're listing him as a safety, I consider him a cornerback. There's definitely a lot of versatility there. So that's definitely something interesting to watch. Okay, now we are coming up. I don't know when. Wow, the Bears have a lot of picks. But I'm probably not going to make a trade for the rest of this draft. I'm probably just going to let it slide, get to wherever we are next, and make our final pick. And there's still a lot of talent available. There's one guy I'm targeting who, all right, you know what? We're going to trade up. I see one guy, Jonathan Cooper out of Ohio State. This is a guy I'm going to try to get. Chris Rump would be a good comp option. We're at 230. Is he going to make it to us? I do not know. So I'm going to see what I can do. So it's hard trading with a team this late in the draft. Maybe so you would trade with the Chicago Bears at 221, 230 for 221. I'm going to have to give up next year's 7th too. So now we're stuck with 4 picks. Wow. Ooh. You know, screw it. We're going to do it. If we can get a guy like Jonathan Cooper. I mean, we did already take our edge too. It's tough. So look what we have here. We have edge, tackle, wide receiver, cornerback, wide receiver. I might go Jalen Phillips was an absolute steal. You have the injuries. I think it's worth it to get some edge depth. So let's trade up for Jonathan Cooper if we can right here. Again, kind of an unrealistic trade, 221 for 230 and a 7th next year. That's usually something where you get a player involved. And my guess would have to be a guy, I don't really know. It would be some guy who's on your team that you don't really use too much. Maybe a guy like Raheem Mostert might be a good idea for this. You would probably trade up a bit more, but in the meantime, we're going to give up a 7th. Propose they should accept this. They do. And the 49ers select Jonathan Cooper at 221. This is a guy who the Niners have been apparently very high on recently. So I definitely think it's a good idea to get him right there. And I mean, getting him there is a really good steal, in my opinion. He's probably round 7 guy, round 6, round 7. But getting him there, trading up, I do think it's worth it. So yeah, I definitely really like what I'm seeing from Jonathan Cooper. Oh man, this light. Sorry, I got a new light too. I have 2 new lights now. One of them is not working that well. One of them looking good, so I was trying to fix that. So, yeah, for sure. All right, I just want to bring up this comment right here from Paul M. I don't know if this is a troll or not, but I don't know why you would trade Jimmy Garoppolo and then not when you take Alex Smith. You know, here's my thing with I could see them doing that. Here's my thing with Josh Rosen. I don't think he's a starting caliber quarterback anymore. Yes, he had all that potential, all that hype. But I think that's kind of gone past him. We saw him in Tampa Bay behind Tom Brady, struggling still. He made the practice squad. He got cut by Miami. He's on his 4th team in 4 years, I believe now. I think Josh Rosen, I think he's going to be a certified backup for the rest of his career. And I think people have to own up to that. I don't think he was never put in a good situation. Yes, if it works out somehow, great. Great for us. We can get Rosen there. But I don't think it's worth risking it all for a guy like Josh Rosen. I think if you trade up for 3, you're going for a quarterback. They've already said they're going for a quarterback too. So I don't think they're doing this. So yeah. All right, guys. But anyways, this is the simulation that we had right here, right now. We had Justin Fields, Jalen Phillips, James Hudson, Demetric Felton, Benjamin St. Juste, Austin Watkins, Trey McKitty, Israel Mukuamu, and Jonathan Cooper. Dude, this is a phenomenal draft. I think you get Justin Fields at 3. Yes, that's kind of expected. But Jalen Phillips at 43, are you kidding me? That's ridiculous. On top of that, you get some of my favorite players in this draft: James Hudson, Demetric Felton, Trey McKitty, Israel Mukuamu. I love those guys. Austin Watkins, Jonathan Cooper, Benjamin St-Juste, all are guys that people are very high on as well. I want to go into those guys a bit more. But those 4 guys that I named beforehand are 5 guys: James Hudson, Demetric Felton, Trey McKitty, Israel Mukuamu. That's 4. Then you got Justin Fields and Jalen Phillips. Phenomenal draft. This is an A+ across the board, and the 49ers just got a lot better from this draft. So great start to the video. All right, we're going to do more simulations. I know last time I had like a pattern because we didn't really know what we were doing at quarterback. Now I'm just going to do simulations and play it by ear. I think that's fine. Right now, how far are we into the video? We are about 15 minutes in, it looks like. So maybe I'll go 2 or 3 more simulations. I don't really know. We'll play it by ear. We'll see how long this goes. But yeah, let's get another simulation started right now. And I'll screenshot that, tweet it out, by the way, for anyone not watching. If you're not watching live, thanks for coming back to the channel, tuning in, everything like that. So I really appreciate that. All right, 49ers, 7 rounds. Let me get a sip of water, and let's draft. All right, so nothing's changed. Detroit's trending up. That's a terrible offer for what we gave up. We're rejecting that, and we're going to go – we could go Trey Lance here, change it up a bit, but Justin Fields is the pick here. I explained it last time. Justin Fields should be the pick at 4. It's that simple. I mean, excuse me, at 3. Justin Fields should be the pick at 3. Ooh, wow. J.C. Horn, first corner off the board. That's interesting. Jamar Chase to the Broncos. Mac Jones to the Eagles. Wow, this is an interesting draft. Micah Parsons has fallen too. And he's not the first linebacker off the board. I'm going to pause. I was going to pause and trade up for Micah Parsons. But you know what? It is what it is. Micah Parsons, 22. The Titans get an absolute steal there. Is Caleb Farley? Hold up. Hold up. Caleb Farley's at 31. Okay. We could trade up for Caleb Farley here. I'm going to see. You know, we don't have that many picks. We have a fair amount of picks. Yeah, we have a decent amount of picks. I might trade up for Caleb Farley. Let's see what we can do here. I'm not willing to give up any picks for next year right now. I think you can wait. I think the round 2 cornerback depth is very deep, in my opinion. So Caleb Farley, yes, great player. Also a raw prospect. And we have our 2 cornerbacks set up for next year. You got Verrett, you got Mosley. I do believe that Caleb Farley, we don't have to put in that role right away. So I think it would work out. If we can get Caleb Farley, that would be insane. So let's do 43 and 102 for 23. Does that work? No, it doesn't. Okay, pause the draft again. Let's see if we can do that. Let's see if we can work this out. I don't want to give up too much. 1, 2, and we'll give up 172. Will you take that? Trade is declined. Okay, we're just going to let it be. Let's see what we can do. Caleb Farley's still falling. Oh, okay. I'm going to pause it. Packers are not going to take him, but Bills are going to take him. Damn it. Oh, they didn't. Oh, okay. Kansas City. Can we trade with the Kansas City Chiefs right here? Let's get Caleb Farley. It's probably going to be a lesser price. 31 for 43 and 102 straight up. Will you do it? You do not. Okay. We'll wait till round 2. Oh yeah. You know what? It is impossible. That's the one thing I don't. Damn. Well then, that's great. Okay, there's another cornerback on the board that I want. Let's see if we can get him with the Jets. The one thing I don't like about this is it's impossible to trade up from round 1 to round 2, from round 2 to round 1. So let's just give up 34 for 43, 102 again. I'm willing to give up that 3rd. That's a very high pick. So, you know what? Let's see if we have 117. Trades decline. Okay, let's do 34 for 43 and 102. Propose a decline again. Okay, I guess we'll have to play a waiting game. Okay. Are we gonna get this guy? He's the guy I'm talking about is a Fade Melifonwu. I'll talk about him right now. I might as well. You know what? Broncos are gonna take him. Let's see if we can get a trade with the Cincinnati Bengals. You better. If they don't take this, if they do not take this deal, thank you. A Fade Melifonwu. This dude's another physical freak. Also, his brother's on the 49ers, which I really like. So yeah, Joel, I try to pull the trigger. We're good. We're going for Farley. But we got a Fade Melifonwu, who, in my opinion, is right behind Farley, cornerback 4 in this draft, in my opinion. I do believe that Fade Melifonwu is a really good player, very physical, tall. This guy from Syracuse. I love me some Syracuse football. So good to see that. But Ifeatu Melifonwu is a guy who I think would fit really well on this team. And as I said earlier, his brother's on this team as well. Obi Melifonwu, he was a second-round pick with the Raiders last year. Now the 49ers get Ifeatu Melifonwu, a second-round pick this year. So great pick. I don't know why I paused that. Jaelan Phillips was available. Dude, Jaelan Phillips has fallen in this, man. They rank him very low. I could trade up for him too. I think the Niners would be more likely to trade up for a guy like Jaelan Phillips and a guy like Ifeatu Melifonwu. But this is my mock draft. We took Jaelan Phillips last draft. I don't want everything to be the same again. So, yeah, Trey Smith to Seattle. It's a very good pick. Jalen Mayfield to the Rams. Jalen Mayfield, in my opinion, is the most overrated player in this draft. I think Jalen Mayfield's terrible. I mean, I don't see any of the Jalen Mayfield hype whatsoever. It just doesn't work out for me. It's not good. This dude is not good at all. Very raw prospect. If you want to know, if you want to see why I believe that Jalen Mayfield's bad, go to the Penn State film from 2019. You'll thank me later. Gets blown up on every single play. It's kind of ridiculous. That's by far. I mean, that was one of the worst showings I think I've ever seen from an offensive lineman in college football. Just got, or from a second round pick, I should say, a guy who's supposed to go like round 2, maybe round 1. So yeah. Okay. Okay. So there's some good guys available. The Raiders have offered me a deal. The Falcons have offered me a deal. I'm more likely to take the Raiders deal. I like that a bit better. You get a pick for next year, which we need badly. And I believe that's from the trade with the Trent Brown trade. So yeah, but there's a guy I see on the board. I think I'm going to take. If you're watching, you know who I'm about to take. We're taking Tylan Wallace from Oklahoma State. This is a guy who I think would be a phenomenal fit for the 49ers, kind of similar to Elijah Moore, who's a guy I've been targeting kind of similar in round 2. But I do believe that Tylan Wallace would be a great fit for this team. Great receiver. He's definitely a sleeper in this class. So, yeah, Tylan Wallace is now a San Francisco 49er. So we will happily take that. All right, we're coming up again. We traded 117, so we're going to get another guy later on. Looking at the board, I should scroll up probably. There's some guys available. We took our receiver. We took our cornerback. Edge is probably the next thing. We could go Felton again. I'm not really feeling that for Felton, though. Let's see where we are. We don't have a round 4 pick because we traded that. So let's go round 5. I don't think I'm going to trade up again. Demetric Felton just went. I could have traded up for him maybe. But let's wait. We're coming up at 155. Let's see what's up. Cowboys have offered us a pretty big load for 155. We get an extra pick in that one. That one's decent. Wider offense, you could go a guy like David Moore is a really good guy. I think guard from Grambling State. You could go a backup. I think we're set at backup quarterback. We have Nate Sudfeld, who I believe will be the third stringer of the backup. You got Josh Rosen as well. I think you're set there, and you still have Jimmy Garoppolo. If he might not stay on the team though. So yeah, Chauncey Goldston, another great player, I believe. That guy's a really good guy. I think you could take. You could go linebacker here. There's a lot of options here. Safety here, DeMar Hamlin. Ooh, that could be a good pick. Same with Tariq Thompson. Might be a bit of a reach according to that, but yeah, but there's a guy. Okay, I see the guy we're taking. Actually, I don't. I was going to go Marvin Wilson. I don't think we really need a defensive tackle at this moment, but this is a tough pick, man. I'm going to go. Damn. I think I can get my edge later. It seems like that class, the edge depth is kind of backloaded a little bit at the moment. So I think I can get my edge later. I think a position that you could go right now is guard, and I'm going to go David Moore. This guy's another really good guy, smaller school guy. I think he's a great player for this team. Again, a guy who's a bit more raw, so I think it will work out really well for the 49ers with David Moore. So David Moore, welcome to the San Francisco 49ers, being a backup guard, possibly a starter. I do believe that he can be a starter, and it doesn't seem that Cole McKivitz is working out, so I also think it's great to get him here. All right, New England has offered us this deal. I might take this deal, honestly. I do believe you look at what we have. We have 172, 180, 194, 230. We still need an edge. We still need a running back, probably. I mean, I didn't take a running back last draft. That's interesting. I mean, you probably go for an undrafted guy, but yeah, but we still need a bit of positions. On the board right now, there's not that many guys that I really, really want. You could go Trey McKitty again, but I also think you can get him at 177. So we're going to take this deal. Going back from 177 to adding 224, they went for Shakur Brown. Also could go with more cornerback depth. As you see, Benjamin St-Juste went there. The guy I was targeting was, Daz Newsome, Trey McKitty. I'm going to go Trey McKitty again. I mean, I'm just going to stress out how much I love this guy. This would be a phenomenal fit in the offense. Again, last year you were really looking at a blocking tight end. This year, I don't think you're really looking at that. You're looking at a guy more receiving tight end. So I think that's great. And now we're back on the clock at 180. And this one, I'm going to go with a guy who is similar to a guy that I like, or we could just go the guy I like. I'm going to take the guy I like, Tamorrion Terry. I mean, I've talked about this guy so much on this channel. I think if you watch this channel, you know how much I love this guy. Is it a reach? Yes. Do I love him? Yes. Is this guy a really good player? Should be mocked a lot higher? Yes. The big concern is he has character issues. His hands are kind of stiff as well. So that's what's the main knock on him. But still, phenomenal pick. All right, 194. We have 3 more picks. This one, I'm going to go. We don't have an edge yet. I think that's kind of big. There's a lot of guys. There's a cornerback who I think is a bit higher on this board, so we're going to take him. Kerry Vincent Jr. Get more cornerback depth. You can't go wrong there. I do believe we need a bit more cornerback depth, so there you go. Kerry Vincent Jr. at LSU is a guy who, I mean, big school guy, did pretty well in college. Now you're getting him around 6. I think that's a great pick for the 49ers right there. So, yeah, I think you're looking at great pick for the 49ers right there. And now we're coming up again. Chris Rumph is gone. I kind of wanted him. Edge is going to be tough. Do we trade? I'm not going to trade up for Jonathan Cooper again. I'm going to let this slide. Israel Muguama just went right there. I avoided taking him just for this one. Where are we in the draft? Oh, we're coming up. Is Jonathan Cooper going to stay on the board? He is, and we're going to take him because we need an edge badly. It's that simple. I talked about him last time. So, I mean, you guys can go watch the video back. I talked about him last time. Great player. Niners had some preliminary interviews with him. Apparently that went really well. So the 49ers are going to take him. Okay, last pick of this draft, 242. Let's look at the running backs. We haven't looked at running back. There's a guy I see right there. That interesting. I mean, it's interesting to see these guys on the board. There's one guy who I do think we should take, and that's I was going to say Puka Williams. He does have some character issues, so I don't know if that's the best. I'm going to go with this tough pick, man. Looking at it, I think I'm going to go with Chris Brown, the running back. Sorry, Chris Evans, excuse me. Chris Brown is a singer. Chris Evans, the running back from Michigan. This is a guy who's, in my opinion, one of the best running backs in this class. I mean, well, not one of the best in this class, but you want a late round steal, there you go. I think that works out really well. Ben Mason's the fullback there, by the way. So I think it works out really well. He goes to the Rams. That's going to be an interesting fit with Sean McVay getting his Kyle Juszczyk, a fullback right there. So I think that works out pretty well. So, okay, looking at this draft, you got Justin Fields, Fadi Melifonwu, Tylan Wallace, David Moore, Trey McKitty, and you got Tamorrion Terry, Kerry Vincent, Jonathan Cooper, and Chris Evans. Decent draft. I'll give it an A-. Even though I really like some of these guys, I think the other draft is a bit better. I think holding up to those standards is really rough. So I'm going to go A- here. Again, a solid draft. I would be very happy with this. So for sure. All right, we're about 30 minutes into this video. I'm going to do one more and then call it. I like doing these simulations, but at the same time, it's kind of hard to do a lot of simulations like that all by yourself. So yeah, I'm going to finish this off with one more draft. Give me 1 second. I just got to do one quick thing to the StreamYard really quickly. Let me fix that. And all right. I believe we're good. Hang on. 1 second. 1 second. All right. Perfect. We're all good. So let's get going on this final draft. Okay, so final draft. I mean, let's switch it up a bit at 3. We're gonna go with the Niners, obviously. Let's switch it up a bit at 3 real quick. I'm just adjusting my AirPod real quick. Why on earth would I take that? Hell no. Okay, let's switch it up a bit. Let's go Trey Lance. Why not? You know, Justin Fields is the obvious pick here, but North Dakota State is holding another pro day. I wonder if Trey Lance would be the better option for the 49ers. I'm going to go Trey Lance there, see what happens. Devontae Smith at 11 to the Titans. Interesting. Looking at this draft, you got Greg Newsome. That's a Raiders pick. I mean, Greg Newsome's been skyrocketing up boards. It's kind of crazy. He was like a 3rd-round pick. Now he's a 1st-round pick. Jamin Davis has also been skyrocketing up boards too. He was actually not on a lot of boards. He wasn't on this board for a while. Now he is. So definitely interesting right there. All the guys are falling back to us at 43. There goes Rousseau. Jalen Phillips is still on the board. Did they just sell me their entire draft? What on earth is this? That is the weirdest offer I think I've ever seen. Okay, I'm gonna reject the Titans offer. I'm gonna take the Broncos offer. Why not? You got a lot of picks for next year. Even though there's a lot of guys on the board, I wonder who on earth are they going for? They just sold this is like their entire draft. They don't have, that's a massive deal. You get a 43 for 5 picks. That's insane. I'm sorry. I have to take that. I can't pass up on that. Who are they going for, though? They wanted Eric Stokes. Interesting. So now we just have a ton of picks for next year, which, even though we don't get to do as much simulation here, I think having those picks for next year is a really good help for this team. So yeah, I can't complain about that whatsoever. I've never seen offered that. We'll be on the clock at 103 again. Maybe we can trade up for a guy. I think I might trade up for a guy. Looking at this board, it's interesting. I do see a guy I somewhat want. I don't think we need him too much. Let's pause real quick. I just want to see. All right, Cardinals are not going to trade with us, but maybe the New York Giants will. Let's look at this board. There's no one I really am that high on up here. Maybe you go Quinn Miners. That might be an interesting pick. I don't know if they just got Alex Mack. You're going to need to develop Quinn Miners a bit, so maybe that's the best idea. I don't really know. Tyson Campbell's still available. Let's look at the cornerback depth because I think kind of missed out on that a little bit. Yeah, Tyson Campbell's really the only guy out there. I think I'm going to trade for Tyson Campbell right here. See if we can get him. We're trading pretty far back, so we're going to go with 102, 76, and let's go next year's third. I wonder if we can keep some picks. So let's give up 2/3 for 76. I'm going to keep Denver, sir. I think that's going to be a bit better next year. So propose a trade. They should accept this. They do. And we're going to take Tyson Campbell, the best cornerback on the board. You get your guy right there. And by the way, your 3rd round pick is probably going to be better next year just by making that trade. So I really like that a lot for the 49ers. I think getting a guy like Tyson Campbell will work out really well for this team. You need some cornerback depth. One of those Georgia cornerbacks will work out really well, in my opinion. So, yeah. Okay, offensive lineman is still on the board. I think that's interesting. They're kind of falling. Quinn Miners is kind of falling. We kind of got him at 103 maybe. No, the Cowboys just take him right there. Excuse me for that. But it is what it is. Okay. Looking at we get Tylan Wallace is still, now he's not. As soon as I say that, he's not. I believe we have 117. We do. There's one guy on the board I'm kind of interested in. I'm going to take him right here. Ooh, could go James Hudson, but I'm going to go with the guy who's more of a guard, Deontay Brown from Alabama. This guy's a beast. I don't need to say much. Watch the film. This dude's a beast. I mean, just dominating in every aspect. Yes, he did play next to Landon Dickerson, who is definitely better than him, but still, this dude's a beast, and I definitely think you can't pass up on that. So I'm going to take Deontay Brown right there. I think this so far, very solid draft. You get Denver's entire draft for next year, and then you get a guy like you get guys. You got Deontay Brown. You got Trey Lance. I went Lance over Fields, which just to change it up for the time being, and then also you get a guy like Tyson Campbell. Really like what we're doing here. All right, coming up at 153, let's look at guys who are receivers. I see a guy on here. I could go Austin Watkins again. Daz Newsome would be a great fit. I'm going to go Shi Smith. I think you get another South Carolina receiver. They've been producing a lot of good receivers lately. You get Shi Smith at 152. Deebo Samuel was a South Carolina receiver. Brian Edwards, a South Carolina receiver. I think he could do some big things soon. So that's definitely interesting to see. And now we're on the clock at 155 again. And looking at what we need, let's go edge here. We're going to need an edge right here. We don't have an edge. I've been kind of slacking on edge. The Niners love edge. They're going to take it higher than this. But looking at edge, I'm going to go with Chauncey Goldston out of Iowa. This guy's another big guy. I always loves those big guys. I think Chauncey Goldston's a great player. Again, guy I want to watch a bit more film on, but I'm taking him right here. Jamar Jefferson to the Raiders. That's interesting. So you got a backfield of Jefferson, Kenyon Drake, and Josh Jacobs. That's an interesting pick right there. But we're on the clock again, guys. 172. Lots of 5th-round picks this year, I guess. We got one from I forget. We got one from the Giants. No, we got one from the Broncos, I believe. Yeah, so the Broncos, that was what we received in the Broncos trade. You got Chauncey Goldston, and now you get 172, which is your pick originally. So, all right. As you know, it's the Saints pick, but still. Okay, I don't know why I'm yawning. I apologize for that. I excuse me for that, but I don't know why I'm yawning. Okay, but we need at 172, we have our edge, we have our wide receiver, guard, cornerback, quarterback. I mean, your biggest needs are kind of knocked off right there. So you really could just go best player available. I'm going to look at the board real quick. We have our guard. I'm not going to go David Moore, even though I think he could be the best player available. Tight end, you could go Trey McKitty again. I've already taken him in 2 drafts. Let's look at the defensive side. You could go linebacker too. I'm going to go linebacker. They rank Charles Snowden as the best player on the board. This is a guy who I haven't watched much film again about, but I'll take him. I'll take their word for it. If he's the best player on the board there, we'll take him there. So why not? And by the way, my best player on the board probably would be Mukuamu, who we actually are going to take here. Mukuamu is coming back to the 49ers. Israel Mukuamu, again, baller. Yes, he's criminally underrated on this, but we're taking him because I love him. I think it would be a fantastic fit for the 49ers. So, yeah. All right, coming up again, 194. Let's look at what we have so far. There's one guy I'm going to take right here, I believe. You got Lance, Campbell, Brown, Smith, Goldson, Snowden, Mukuamu. This is our last pick in the draft, too. So, again, you could go best player available. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go with Trayvon Grimes. I didn't see Benjamin St-Juste there. I'm going to take Benjamin St-Juste. Trayvon Grimes. You know what? I'll switch up. Trayvon Grimes. Trayvon Grimes is another guy who's similar to Tamorrion Terry. Very big. A guy who can possibly be versatile in our offense. In that Florida offense, you play net with Trask, with Pitts. I think you learn a lot from those 2 guys. So I definitely think he would be a great fit for the 49ers. So, yeah, that's simple. Felipe Franks to the Rams. Interesting pick right there. Excuse me. And then you got Jack Anderson. I like that guy a lot. I haven't watched much film on him, but I've heard that he's a sleeper. Tamorrion Terry to the Bears. Interesting pick, to say the least. Get the receiver for the future right there. So, yeah, Cam Bynum. That's another guy. I haven't touched about him. This is the Cal guy, obviously. I haven't watched much film on him. There's other cornerbacks I like a bit better than Cam Bynum, so that's why I haven't been taking him. I think I'm going to call this. I'm going to call the stream after this. I think 3 is good for now. We'll do more later, obviously. I might just do some random. I mean, yes, this is Mock Draft Monday on a Tuesday. We could have Mock Draft Monday on a Thursday. Maybe Mock Draft Monday on a Sunday. I don't really know. We're going to do a lot more of this. I'm going to get guests on for this too, guys. I'm going to get guests on. We can break down all the picks, kind of make more collective mock drafts. I really like doing the open mic mock draft, so I'll try to get that back on soon as well. So, yeah. But, guys, looking at this draft, finalizing this draft, trade Lance instead of Justin Fields, just to switch it up a little bit. Then you got the trade with Denver right here. That's why you didn't have your second-round pick. They gave you your entire draft. I don't know why they did this, but, yeah, Tyson Campbell right there. Then you got Deontay Brown, Shi Smith, Chauncey Goldson, Charles Snowden, Israel Mukuamu, Trayvon Grimes, and all the Denver picks. So, in my opinion, fantastic draft. I really like what we did with this draft. Definitely, I would give an A, not an A+. I think the players you took are decent. I think they're better players in the first draft that we did. But then all of this right here, man, you cannot complain about that. You can't tell me that's bad. So we'll take that. But, guys, that's probably going to do it for this stream. Guys, more Mock Draft Mondays coming. A lot more streams are coming. I'm going to do a lot more content coming up. I've been very busy. That busy work's kind of starting to slow down a little bit. Hopefully, cross my fingers for that. Hoping to get more back on the channel. But we'll have to see what happens. My schedule's been very busy, so that's why I haven't been uploading lately. That's why the quarterback video, I'm hoping to get that out this week as well. Might not be able to get out this week either. Again, very busy, so bear with me on that. But, guys, that's going to do it for this stream. More Mock Draft Mondays on the way. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Go Niners.